Hello, what's going guys? Welcome to Action Comics issue number 990. Oh my god, 10 more issues to go, the reach of 1000. That is pretty cool. So yeah, let me explain about this comic book. Here I am, Steve, and I'm gonna read this explanation or review from VSITCcomics.com. Our issue begins with more of the same, where Superman is off saving people before trying to get the leader of Logamba and the leader of the rebel army together so that they can finally begin talks of peace and really just how to not shoot chemical weapons at one another. It doesn't seem like this peace treaty goes really well though, because eventually Superman just rounds up all the weapons in the country and destroys them before flying back to Metropolis and hoping that the people of this country can work their differences out. Back at the Fortress of Solitude, Jor-El is still trying to pitch his idea of a perfect new planet to John, and it seems to be working, but for all the trust that John seems to have in his grandfather, I don't think it's going to help convince Superman of anything, because when he makes his way back to Metropolis, he discovers the agents of Oz trying to fill the city with gas that would end up killing the populace. And now that he knows that 1 + 1 equals my dad's bad guy, he flies off to Lewis, where they are both met by Jor-El and John, and Daddy Dearest tries to convince his son and his family that leaving Earth is the right thing to do. Superman isn't buying any of his though. That's it for this issue of Action Comics, and while we do have a lot of rehashing of things that we have seen throughout this arc already, that might be super cool and enjoyable, and even things we saw in the previous issue, it seems that the groundwork has finally been laid and we can start seeing what this story is going to be all about and on what side of the line of good and evil that Jor-El will be standing. Yeah, I really dug the fact that Superman has finally learned what his father is up to, and because of that aspect, plus John seeming to be on his grandfather's side, I finally can't wait for the next issue to come, because until now it really just felt like we were reading the same things over and over again. The art in this issue was as great as always, and as long as that stays consistent with the little tidbit of information that Jor-El gave us about an impending doom coming Earth's way, I can see Action Comics being a must read once again. So I'm gonna give it a 8.2 out of 10. You might think that's a freaky kind of review, but I love to give this kind of review ratings, because 8 denotes the 8 criticizes that it's good comics, or you can say great comics, and 8.2 simplifies that confusion that it's more than good comics. That means it's towards great comics. So I've enjoyed this comic book. This is Action Comics issue number 990. You can say also 990, and if you guys want to enjoy this comic book, just go to the store, buy this comic book and enjoy it and support the comic book industry also. So yeah, let me tell you guys about this comic book, something that I have noticed, and that is when Superman is doing all his job to saving the humanity and all of the things, he is doing it perfectly clean. So that's the first thing I loved about Superman in this comic book, that he is the rightful hero over here in the comic book. For a long time we have seen Superman is doing something bad things or some confusing things that might be you will decide as good or bad, but this time Superman is doing only the good thing, and he is fighting for his family, even fighting against his own father, and Jor-El is the villain over here. So Superman and Jor-El, maybe a face-off will happen in the next issue. We don't know what is gonna happen, but I'm gonna tell you guys that I will enjoy this one, and I have enjoyed this comic book too. So if you want to leave a like, just leave a like and subscribe this videos, subscribe the channel, and yeah, share it with your friends and be a cool guy or girl, and yeah, tell them to check my videos. And thanks for all the thanks for all the support guys, and have a great day. Adios amigos.